What's going on, guys? Back with another whiteboard video, and today I wanted to show you what it would be like if there were no scales. How would you lose weight? These are the three methods that I personally would implement and I think are most effective, and I'm going to start from 1 being the most effective, and then we're going to work our way all the way to 3, okay? So start with number 1. It's going to be whole foods. Whole foods are super important for losing fat because they have more nutrients. You're going to get vitamins and minerals from these foods. And also, a very important one is fiber. Because fiber is going to keep you fuller for a longer period of time. Okay? And the thing is if you're consuming non-whole foods, they're altered. They're altered from their natural state, like these whole foods. And from this processing, they end up losing the benefits you gain from eating whole foods, like the fiber, the vitamins, and the minerals. Okay? And if you're keeping your fiber up and you're also getting these vitamins and minerals, you're going to be fuller for longer periods of time. And then from doing this, you'll consume less calories. Okay? And a little bonus trick, okay? When shopping at the store, most people just don't know how to approach it. Step 1 is you're going to get a list and then go to the store and buy exactly what's on that list. How do you avoid the junk food, though? Shop the perimeter of the store, okay? Instead of going down the aisles and looking at all the junk food, don't put the junk food in your house. Just shop the perimeter and get your whole foods, okay? But you might be wondering, what kind of whole food should I eat? Should I eat carbs, fats, proteins? Should I just cut out carbs? The answer is no. I think you should take a balanced approach when losing fat. You want to consume carbs, fats, and proteins, okay? Some of my favorite whole foods that are carbs are oats, pumpkin, potatoes, and fruits and vegetables, okay? The reason why these are so good for fat loss is because these are all low calorie and have a lot of fiber, like we were talking about earlier on, okay? For protein, you'd want to stick to more lean sources if you're trying to lose fat. But if you want a little bit of fat, you could do like a lean beef, like 93-7 or 90-10. Then you're also, if you're using that as your protein source, then you'd be getting a little bit of fat as well. You want to have these fats in because they're good for your hormones and digestion. Okay? But some of my other favorites for fats would be avocado, eggs, and dark chocolate. I think dark chocolate is definitely a hidden one in there. A lot of people don't think of. I think this one's really great because it has caffeine in it. Caffeine will keep you fuller or make you think you're feeling fuller for longer. Okay. And then next up on the list for the level of importance is resistance training. It really doesn't matter the form for the resistance. Okay. It could be weights, it could be calisthenics, it could be bands, whatever you have available. I think the best is weights because you can build the most muscle, but you can build muscle with calisthenics and bands as well. But the whole point in trying to put on the muscle and why it could be, I guess you say, better than cardio is because you're increasing your resting metabolic rate. Okay? What this will do is you're going to burn more calories while just resting, while not actually exercising. Okay? And another misconception, see this red marker here, is high reps. A lot of people think that they should be doing higher reps when trying to lose fat because the more reps you do, the more you move, the more calories you burn. But remember, our goal is to build muscle because that muscle is going to increase the amount of calories that we burn when we're not moving. And to do that, you're going to want to stick in the best rep ranges for building muscle. So what I would recommend is just simply aiming for 8 to 12 reps. Okay. Lastly, moving on to a way that we could track our progress to know if we're actually losing fat, and it's the mirror. I chose the mirror because it's honest and it's real. A lot of people don't like to use the mirror because of how honest it is. They don't say the very first time you do have fat on your body and you look in the mirror. You may not like what you see. But that's real, and if you don't ever recognize that you're heading in the wrong direction, how are you ever gonna redirect your route to head in the right direction? So that's how you got to get real with it. Okay. And then I would also recommend taking progress pics. I do them weekly because it's consistent, and when you're consistent, that's how you're gonna feel your motivation. Okay. If you're consistent with looking in the mirror every week and assessing if you're losing fat, or taking pictures, which is even better, you're going to begin to notice changes, okay? And if you're consistent with it, you're going to spark some motivation. A lot of people will say, oh, I'm not motivated to lose fat. They rely on the energy in the short term, and that's okay. But if you're never fueling your motivation, how are you ever going to have it? And this is a great way to build motivation weekly. Every week you go in with a little improvement, and then you want to add on top of it. It's really going to motivate you. Okay? And then I want to go over a couple different areas when checking the mirror. Because for a male and a female, it's a little bit different. For males, you want to be checking the belly, the love handles, and the chest. And then the females, the hips, thigh, belly, glutes, and arms. But you may be wondering, how about cardio? Well, cardio is very important, but I wouldn't throw it in my top 3 most effective ways to lose fat loss and track it. It's very important, but I think if you just resistance train hard, you're going to burn a lot of calories while doing it, and then while at rest as well from building the muscle. I think that'll be enough if you eat your whole foods. The most important. But they all work in unison. Another question you may be wondering is, yeah, you can apply all these, but you're not in a calorie deficit. Calorie deficit is what makes you lose weight, which results in fat loss. Okay? But this is no scales. This also includes a food scale. No food scales. Okay? So, if you're not tracking your amount of calories, how are you ever going to be in a calorie deficit? Well, you can obviously be in a calorie deficit without ever tracking it. And if you're eating whole foods, you're moving your body in the gym, there's a good chance you're going to be in a calorie deficit. Just because the whole foods are so satiating and they make you feel full, you're probably not going to overeat on them. And if you're not already eating whole foods and you applied only eating whole foods, there's a very high chance, I can almost guarantee, that you will lose fat. I hope you found some value out of this video, and if you watched this point, I appreciate it. If you guys want me to break down any of these topics into more depth, make sure to drop a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.